As a brain doctor who spent over 3 decades studying the mushy, marvelous mystery we call the human brain, I thought I'd seen it all. I've watched neurons fire like fireworks during a memory test, and I've seen strokes sneak in like uninvited dinner guests. But nothing, and I mean nothing, prepared me for the day I realized that something as innocent as a handful of nuts, yes, nuts, could quietly push my senior patients toward stroke territory overnight. And before you say, "But doc, I thought nuts were healthy." So did I, until I dug deeper, much deeper. And what I found, let us just say, it made me want to slap the trail mix right out of my own hand. Let me take you back to a Tuesday morning. 7:42 a.m. My patient Harold, retired math teacher, crossword puzzle king, and notorious Jeopardy yeller, walked into my office looking like someone had pulled the plug on half his face. Not quite a full stroke, but the signs were there. Slight slurring, drooping on one side, and a blank confusion in his eyes. We rushed the scans. Tiny stroke. Just a mini one, thank heavens. No smoking history, no family history. Blood pressure was usually good. So what the heck happened? I grilled him like a short-order cook at a roadside diner. Finally, he says, "Doc, I was up late watching a Ken Burns documentary, and I had some cashews." Cashews, that was new. I wrote it off as nothing, until it happened again, with another patient and another. Each one described similar symptoms. A mini-stroke, some weird overnight blood pressure spike. And each had indulged in some kind of flavored or roasted nut snack the night before. One patient even called them her nighttime brain fuel. I almost fainted. So I put on my detective hat and went full Sherlock. What's in these nuts that could possibly trigger stroke risk? The answer? It's not just the nut. It's everything around the nut. The oils, the salt, the sugars, and the industrial processing that turns what should be a heart-healthy snack into a brain-bashing time bomb. Let's start with the big three villains: cashews, flavored peanuts, and sugar-roasted almonds. Cashews, when raw and unsalted, aren't inherently evil. But most store-bought cashews are roasted in inflammatory seed oils like cottonseed or soybean oil. These oils are high in omega-6 fatty acids, and while omega-6 isn't evil on its own when it's out of balance with omega-3, as it often is in the Western diet, it becomes a driver of vascular inflammation. That's strike one. Strike two. Salt. I'm not talking about a pinch of sea salt. I'm talking about 200 to 300 milligrams per serving. And let's be honest, who eats just one serving? Not Harold, not Mildred, not you. Sodium overload raises blood pressure dramatically, especially overnight. Your arteries, already aging and stiff, get pressurized like an old garden hose in the sun. One twist, one moment of restricted blood flow, and suddenly the blood can't get to that precious frontal cortex. Strike three. Sugar. You think you're being healthy with honey roast almonds? Think again. That's candy with a shell. One brand I checked had 14 grams of sugar per ounce. That's more than a glazed donut. Add that to industrial oils and salt, and you're basically eating dessert in disguise. And I'm not just being dramatic. Take my patient Linda. She's 75 and the kindest woman you'd ever meet. Loves knitting, birdwatching, and peanut brittle. Except it was NT brittle. It was sugar-glazed peanuts she bought at a health food store that advertised them as natural energy bites. I nearly fell out of my swivel chair. She had one stroke scare, switched her snacks to raw almonds and blueberries, and I kid you not, she came back 6 months later, sharper, lighter, and happier. Another guy, Frank, 80, retired firefighter, swore by macadamia nuts every night. But they were the kind roasted in palm oil and sprinkled with something called smoked bacon seasoning. Sounds delicious. Also sounds like a cardiovascular ambush. He had chronic migraines, minor memory loss, and thought it was just age. We removed the nuts, added walnuts, and a bit of fish oil. His wife said he started remembering birthdays again. Coincidence? Not a chance. Now, I'm not saying all nuts are bad. In fact, the right nuts can be brain-saving. Walnuts look like brains for a reason. Mother Nature is clever. Rich in alpha-linolenic acid, walnuts reduce inflammation, support neuron integrity, and may even slow cognitive decline. Just one small handful per day is enough. Don't go dumping a whole bowl down your hatch like it's popcorn. Then we have pistachios. Small but mighty. Packed with antioxidants, potassium, and phytosterols, they help dilate blood vessels and support circulation. I once had a patient named Beverly, mid-70s, ballroom dancer, who swapped her nightly cheese cubes for unsalted pistachios and said she felt less foggy in the mornings. There's actual science behind it too. Pistachios improve endothelial function, which is vital for stroke prevention. Almonds, too, if you get them raw and unsalted, are wonderful. High in vitamin E, which is essential for brain cell membrane protection. Just don't fall for the flavored trap. Your almond tastes like birthday cake, it's not helping your hippocampus. Another sleeper nut, hazelnuts. It's underappreciated, but a good source of folate and magnesium. Folate deficiency has been linked to stroke and cognitive decline, especially in older adults. Hazelnuts are a tasty, less mainstream way to keep your folate levels healthy. And let's not forget hydration. Nuts are dense. If you're munching without sipping water, you're dehydrating yourself and thickening your blood. For seniors, that's dangerous. Think of water as your blood's lubricant. No water and your blood cells are dragging across artery walls like tires on gravel. Also, never eat heavy nuts late at night. Our circulation slows during sleep. Your body doesn't digest fats as efficiently, and all that sodium and oil just sits in your system, causing blood pressure spikes at the worst time. If you need a night snack, try a banana with a spoonful of almond butter, or some Greek yogurt with walnuts. Your brain will thank you. Finally, let's talk serving size. 1 handful, not 2. Not well it's healthy, so I can have more. No. Nuts are calorie-dense and easy to overeat. I had a patient, no lie, who was eating a whole Costco tub of mixed nuts in 2 days because the label said heart healthy. That's like drinking a bottle of wine because grapes are good for you. So here's your doctor's nut checklist. Choose raw or dry roasted nuts without added oils. Avoid anything with sugar, syrups, or flavor coatings. Check sodium levels under 100 milligrams per serving is ideal. Drink water with your snack. Eat nuts earlier in the day. Rotate between walnuts, almonds, pistachios, hazelnuts, and Brazil nuts. Keep portions small. Think toddler handful, not football mitt. And remember, the goal isn't to be afraid of nuts, it's to be smarter about how you eat them. The right nuts can lower your stroke risk, boost your memory, and give you sustained energy. The wrong ones, they can quietly sabotage your health while pretending to be your friend. So the next time you see a fancy trail mix with chocolate chunks, dried pineapple, candied cashews, and yogurt-covered pretzels, turn it around. Read the ingredients and ask yourself, is this fueling my brain or fooling it? Because in the end, your brain deserves better than lies in a shiny snack bag. Stay sharp. Stay salty only in attitude, not in snacks. And keep watching Health Hackers, where your brain gets stronger and your snacks get smarter.